Hello everyone and welcome back to another math video. Today we're going to be talking about parallel lines cut by a transversal. We're going to find the actual angle measures. So similar to the problems you see up on the screen here. Just a reminder, this is the normal version. If you want the speed run version where we go through pretty quickly, I'll link that in the description below. For your Ricasso recap, you should already know about vertical, corresponding, alternate interior, exterior, and supplementary angles. If you want a refresher on these terms and what they mean, there will be a video in the description below. Please go watch that before you start this lesson. All right, new lesson starts now. Here we go. So on the left-hand side here, this reference sheet, we're going to be using this, okay? So I'll show you. In this problem, it says if the measure of TWU, all right, so TWU is this angle, TUW is 114 degrees. It says, what is the measure of VUR? And let's use a different color here. Let's go green. All right, VUR. Well, we should recognize that these are vertical angles. So on our reference sheet over here, vertical angles are congruent. So if they're vertical angles, then the answer must also be 114 because they're the same, right? VUR is 114 degrees. So this reference sheet over here will work for all the different types of angles, okay? All right, here's our cool clock for today, which means that it's time for you to practice what you just learned. Go ahead and pause the video and try these two problems on your own. And when you're ready, you can unpause the video and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, you should have said, okay, these are adjacent angles. So according to our reference sheet, that means they're supplementary. And so, you know, I have to add up to 180. So subtract off the extra one, you get 117.1. And for the second problem, should have said, okay, these are corresponding angles, so they're congruent. So therefore, if 115 is one of them, the other one must be 115 as well. All right, for this problem, it says RSP is 52. What is the measure of QPN? QPN. All right. So in the previous problems, the angles were directly related, meaning they were both corresponding or they were both alternate interior, exterior, you know, whatever. In this one though, these are not directly related, okay? But what we can do is there are a couple ways to look at this. If this is 52, then this angle right here must also be 52 because these are alternate interior angles and alternate interior angles are congruent. And now if this is 52, well, these are adjacent, okay? So now we can do 180 minus 52, which is 128 degrees. All right, that's one way you could have done it. I mean, there are multiple ways you could have looked at this. Once you have one angle in here, you have all the angles, okay? Because another way to do this would have been, well, these are adjacent. So this is 128 degrees. And now these are corresponding. So we know corresponding are the same, so 128, right? So once you have one angle, you have all the angles here. So again, final answer here is 128. All right, time to practice. Go ahead and pause the video and try these two on your own. When you're ready, unpause and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem here is the work. You could have gone it about a different way, but your final answer should have been 112. And for the second problem here is the work. Again, you might have gone about a different way, but your final answer should have been 124.1. All right, that is it for today. I hope you all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.